This is Highway 77, Denton Highway. We're headed up to 377 in Watauga to look at flooding in that area.
All right, so we're cruising up 377, so we're on the west side of town. We're just on the east side of I-35W, heading north. Big storage area, familiar with that one. A lot of apartment complexes on the way up 377, and this storm that we've been watching here over the last 45 minutes or so headed through this area, and we've obviously kind of wondered, did the rain hold together? Did these folks here see as much rain as they saw down in Haltom City and into the Watauga area?
And you can see the landscape of this area, how it, you know, in places will start off kind of hilly and then it'll go down. It all drains into that creek. And we were showing you pictures earlier of the drain, the storm drains that were obviously working and the water going through there, but it has to have somewhere to go, right? And it ends up in that creek, and so then we have these highways and roads being threatened.
Well, looks like right now the good news is that kind of farther north we go, things don't look as bad as down in Watauga and North Richland Hills. We're not seeing the rushing water that we saw. We're not seeing the big ponding of that one end of the neighborhood that we saw in Watauga. Those poor folks, probably at least one or two, if not a few others, have water in their homes. Got a mobile home park here we're checking out.
Okay.
And very deep water at one end.
All right, Doug, excuse me just for a moment, I don't want to interrupt you, but we do have Lieutenant Philip Adams. He is with the Watauga Police Department on the phone right now. Lieutenant Adams, are you there and can you hear us?
I'm here, yes.
What are you seeing right now in Watauga? What are you dealing with?
Well, we're dealing with a, excuse me, a large amount of street flooding, and the creeks here, the 2 or 3 creeks we have overflowed. We've had cars that have been stranded. We've had to rescue some people out of some cars. We have had probably close to 8 homes that have sustained water damage. That number could go higher. We're right now, the rain has let up. We're actually seeing some sunlight, so the water on the street is starting to recede a little bit, but the creeks are still taking a little bit of time to go down.
And Lieutenant, we saw a lot of rushing water, especially around Iron Horse Golf Course, and a lot of that water is moving at a really good clip. Please tell us you've not had to do any swift water rescues to this point?
No, we haven't had any of that. Well, the most we've had was some kids just in the street, you know, trying to ride it down the street, and we've taken care of those problems. But we haven't had any swift water rescue at all.
That was a nice, delicate way of putting it. We like that. Very good. Bravo.
I would imagine, Lieutenant, that it would be very difficult also to get ahead of these storms. As you hear the forecast, I'm sure you keep a real close eye on the forecast. Hard to get ahead of the storms and figure out in what areas, where should you go up and put those barricades up or those warning signs. How's that going?
It's very difficult. We have been watching this storm front most of the day. It's stalled a couple of times, and of course around 4 o'clock, a little bit before 4, it's when it finally started raining here, and it didn't take long for a lot of water to drop out of the sky, and so we brought all our resources out, our police officers and our firefighters, and then we started to maintain the areas that we know of that have flooded in the past, and so we could also keep people out of the area and, keep them from being in any kind of danger.
Right. So again, the damage report that you're getting, I think you had said 8 homes or so, or somewhere in that neighborhood?
So far, from talking with my emergency management coordinator, he's given about 8 homes that possibly are damaged with water. He's doing a preliminary survey at this point, and we'll be going house to house to see what the damage is and offering our assistance to those citizens.
And there are a lot of available tea times at Iron Horse for tomorrow?
I'm sure there will be, yes.
Hey, Lieutenant, we know you're busy. We'll let you get back on the job. Lieutenant Philip Adams, Watauga PD, talking about 8 homes or so that they know of right now. Number could go up that have likely sustained a little bit of damage because of floodwater. Street flooding throughout the area. Cars flooded, sometimes up to the hood. We've got area roadways obviously flooded and shut down. We've got the westbound of Loop 820 in North Richland Hills closed down right now, and if you could have seen the pictures a little bit earlier, which we'll go back and you'll be able to see them later too as well, just a mess on through there and a huge traffic backup as well. Hey Ryan, we saw the ballpark there. Where are you at now, partner?
We're back in that area where 820 is flooded at Roof Snow. Just made a big circle around. We're going to follow the golf course south and see if we can find a little bit more flooding in the area. We ventured north to the Watauga and 377 area. So far, everything looks good up there. North side looks good from this point. We're going to turn back around and see what we can find.
Okay, so we're back now in the Iron Horse Golf Course area, North Richland Hills, south end of Watauga. And this right now, based on our aerial survey with Chopper 11, appears to be the hardest hit area this afternoon with that big, very slow-moving storm that came through. Wasn't a dramatic event in terms of lightning or wind or anything of that nature, but man, a massive amount of rain clearly has fallen within about a 30-minute time period, from about 5 or a couple of minutes before till close to 5:30. Here's another road completely washed out, water rushing over the top of it.
So we're giving you the aerial view, the aerial vantage point of what this flooding looks like and how quickly it can happen, so that you can understand why it is that we continue to say, when you hear flash flood warnings and you hear us saying that repeatedly, to be very careful. We mean it can happen very, very, very fast. As Doug said, 2 to 3 inches of rain in just a very short period of time. We're also going to this is, what is it now?
Glenview Drive.
Glenview Drive.
Glenview Drive. Real quick, Jake Shannon's in Storm Chaser. Jake, 820 and Hurst Boulevard, I think that's where you are, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm here on the, looks like the east side of 820, in between Hurst and Lower Precinct line. You're seeing live video right now, cars actually passing through. I think that police now have actually just shut off this road. Within the last 5 or 10 minutes, the water has now crested over the westbound lane, and as you can see right there in your in the video, and now going into the eastbound lane and making it completely impassable here. There's lots of debris and very, very swift current.
So swift current still being reported, 820 Hurst Boulevard. That's Jake Shannon in our CBS 11 Storm Chaser. Nobody in deep enough water that they're in trouble from your tour this afternoon?
Not at this time. There's been some cars that have tried to go through. Actually, there's a car right now that's thinking that he's big enough to go through this area, and I'm going to shoot some video of this while we're talking right now. But a very dangerous situation. You know, this water's going all the way up to the hood, almost headlights.
Yeah, when drivers do that, Jake, we were saying it a little bit earlier, it's dangerous for them, but it's also very, very dangerous for the little car driving next to them, where they just, they splash them and they just can't see a thing. Question for you, have you seen any lightning? Because I know Christine was saying that we do have a danger of that in the area.
You know, as a matter of fact, I just saw 2 bolts of lightning just seconds ago, right before you had said that. And the water continues to rise here. It's actually all the way up to the Storm Chaser, so it has rose probably 3 feet, maybe 2 feet from when I first got here, maybe within a matter of 10 minutes. And, people don't realize it's not just the height of water, it's how swift that the water's actually moving. I mean, this is moving. I'm seeing trees and branches and large pieces of debris that are being swept away with this swift-moving current.
Right. Jake Shannon, stand by. Back to Chopper 11, Ryan Kimball. Hey, Ryan, is that somebody out there shooting video on that bridge we just saw, and it looked like a fire official came out and said, hey, you may want to back off there?
Yeah, that is exactly the case. They're out on this bridge here, just taking pictures, amazed at the view. Now, he ushered them away because you can see the water is getting dangerously close to breaching this bridge as well. If this area looks familiar to you at all, there was a water rescue that we captured on video here just a couple of weeks ago, where an elderly motorist was swept off the roadway, and there was another vehicle swept underneath these trees. Now, this is a road that's very prone to flooding in this area.
So here we are back in the very same spot of a previous water rescue in a situation that was not good for a few folks. Fire department on the scene now, blocking access to the road. Hopefully nobody would make the choice to try and go through something like that. And Ryan, also, we had focused so much in the last few minutes on Iron Horse Golf Course, the one you're at right now in this particular area, identified to us as Diamond Oaks Country Club. You're watching CBS 11 News Storm Team coverage live on the scene. We've got massive flooding this afternoon. Our 6 o'clock show is just moments away, putting everything together. Live pictures for you, the very latest information. Don't go anywhere. CBS 11 News at 6 begins in just a few minutes.